What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and to episode 2 of our insane free computer science course. I am so hyped you're here today. Yesterday, we kicked things off by figuring out what computer science even is, and the response was absolutely incredible. You guys are ready to learn, and I'm ready to teach. Today, we are diving into something that is literally the foundation of all programming. We're going to master 3 huge ideas: variables, data types, operators. That might sound super complicated, but I promise you by the end of this video, it's going to feel as easy as clicking a button. We're going to make this simple, visual, and fun. Get ready, because today is the day you start thinking like a real programmer. We're going to use some awesome visuals, like glowing boxes, to show you exactly how this stuff works. Forget boring textbooks and confusing lectures. We're doing this the right way. This is the stuff that lets you build games, apps, websites, literally anything you can imagine. Like, subscribe, and comment if you're following the full series. We're dropping these daily. Alright, let's kick things off with the absolute basics. What even is a variable? Forget all the complicated definitions you might have heard. A variable is just a box. Seriously, that's it. It's a container that you can use to store one piece of information. Imagine you have a special glowing box, and you can put something inside it to save for later. You can put a number in it. You can put some text in it. You can put a simple yes or no value in it. The box itself is the variable, and the thing you put inside is called the value. It's that simple. Now, to keep our boxes organized, we need to give each one a name or a label. This is how we tell the computer which box we want to use. Think about moving into a new house. Kitchen stuff, bedroom stuff, video games. In programming, we do the exact same thing. We could have a box labeled player score, another one labeled player name, and a third called number of lives. These labels help us and the computer keep track of all the different pieces of information our program needs to work properly. The coolest part about these boxes is that what's inside can change. That's why it's called a variable, because the value inside it can vary. Let's say you have a box called score, and you put the number 100 in it. Then, your player collects a power-up worth 50 points. You don't need a new box. You just open up the score box and update the value inside. You take out the 100 and put in 150. This is happening constantly in every game you play. Your score goes up, your health goes down, your ammo count changes. So why is this so important? Why do we even need variables? Well, without them, a program would have the memory of a goldfish. It couldn't remember anything. It wouldn't know your username. It wouldn't know your high score. It wouldn't know how many items are in your shopping cart. Variables are what give a program memory. They are the fundamental tool for storing, retrieving, and manipulating information. Every single useful application, from your calculator app to massive online games, is built on this simple but incredibly powerful idea of using named containers to hold data. And now, you know exactly how it works. Before we jump into the absolute madness, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We're dropping these daily. And let me know down in the comments that you're here for episode 2. It seriously fires me up to see you guys following along. Alright, enough talk. Let's get into it. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to understand the building blocks that every single app on your phone uses. We're going to look at how your computer remembers information, like your score in a game or your name in a chat app. We're breaking it down into tiny, easy steps. I'm going to show you exactly how a program can store your age, check if you're old enough to play a certain game, and even do math. This isn't just theory. This is the practical, hands-on knowledge that will let you start building your own projects. Let's start with our first big idea: variables. Okay, so we've got our glowing boxes, our variables. But what kind of stuff can we actually put inside them? Can we just throw anything in there? Well, kind of, but we need to be specific. The computer needs to know what type of information it's dealing with. This is where the idea of data types comes in. A data type is just a label that tells the computer what kind of value is inside a variable. Is it a number? Is it text? Is it something else? Knowing the type determines what you can do with the value. Visual. 123, 314, ABC by our common data types. Integer, float, string, Boolean. First, we have integers. These are just whole numbers like -5, 0, 10, 150. Think of your age or the number of subscribers on a YouTube channel. Next, we have floats, which is a fancy name for numbers that have a decimal point. If you're talking about money, like $19.99, or a precise measurement like 3.75 meters, you're using a float. It allows for that extra bit of precision that integers don't have. Visual glowing box labeled price, 3.50. Quantity, 4. Arrow to 14 ASU. This is where floats come to the rescue. A float, or floating point number, can hold numbers with a decimal point. Use floats when dealing with money, scientific measurements, percentages, any fractional parts. The computer handles math for integers and floats differently behind the scenes. More importantly, it lets your program be precise when needed. You wouldn't want your bank account rounded to the nearest dollar. Then we have one of the most useful data types of all, the string. This is not a piece of yarn. A string is simply text. Your name, Alex, is a string. The message, hello, world, is a string. Even a single letter, like A or a blank space, is part of a string. We usually tell the computer something is a string by putting it inside quotation marks. So, name charges Alex tells the computer that the variable holds the text value Alex. We could also store a welcome message. Greeting. Welcome to the game. One cool thing you can do with strings is join them together. This is called concatenation. In many languages, you use the plus sign. Plus. Example, name, May, Maria, welcome message. Hello, plus name, hello Maria. This appears everywhere. It lets programs talk to you and make the experience feel personal and engaging. A Boolean variable can only hold one of two possible values, true or false. That's it. It's like a light switch that can only be on or off. There's no in-between. We use Booleans to track states or answer yes or no questions. For example, is logged in could be true if you're logged in and false if you're not. Or is game over could be false while you're playing, then switch to true when you run out of lives. The real magic happens when we create Booleans based on comparisons. We can ask the computer, is age greater than or equal to 18? Is adult? Age 18. False for age 12. If we later changed age to 20, the same question would now evaluate to true. This is the core of how programs make decisions, asking true or false questions to figure out what to do. Operators let you do math and logic with variables. Plus, or, example, score or score plus 50. Health, 10. Total cost was price quantity. Average score was total score. 3. Be mindful of data types. Adding numbers to strings may error or concatenate. Score, plus 100, score, 100. Comparison operators let your program think. Double equals asks a question. Single equals gives a command. If it's equal, door opens. We also have not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. And just like that, you did it. Let's take a second to recap the absolute mountain of knowledge you just conquered. Today, you learned the 3 most fundamental concepts in all of programming. First, we mastered variables, which are just named containers or boxes for storing information. We saw names like score and player name, and that we can change the value inside whenever we want. This is how programs remember things. Next, we broke down data types. You now know the big 4. integers for whole numbers, floats for decimal numbers, strings for text, booleans for true or false values. We have to be specific about what kind of data it is. You wouldn't multiply two names together, but you can definitely multiply a price by a quantity. Finally, we unleash the power of operators, arithmetic for calculations and comparison operators to ask questions and get true or false answers. These operators are the engine of logic, allowing programs to compare values and make decisions. Variables, data types, operators. You've just laid a rock-solid base for your coding future. I am so incredibly proud of you for making it through this. So many beginners get tripped up, but you crushed it. If you got any value out of this lesson, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. We are on a roll. Tomorrow, in episode 3, we are going to take the booleans and comparison operators you just learned and use them to build our first real logic structures with if-else conditions. You'll learn how to tell your program, if this is true, do this. Otherwise, do that. It's where your code truly starts to come alive. You don't want to miss it. See you tomorrow.